Hello, you join us as we record this video on the day after our third Lent meeting here in the parish of Kidderminster East. And this is a way of helping those who weren't able to get to the meeting to catch up with where we are at the moment in all our discussions. You might remember that we are basing our discussions upon a particular phrase. Let me show you that phrase once again. Here it is. We are 5 very tasty ingredients in a mixing bowl. Could you lead and direct us to decide what it is we are baking? That's the phrase that we've been looking at over these few weeks. We've been praying about it, talking about it, discussing it, looking for the Lord's direction on what it is that we can be as a parish of 5 churches for his glory. So let's see where we got up to with things yesterday. Our work together last night followed on from what we were talking about last week, which is when we did a SWOT analysis of the parish as we thought about our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And we focused in particularly on the strengths. And through the evening, by a variety of means, we ended up with 5 particular strengths that we saw in our parish. And so let me show you what those were. We ended up by deciding that the particular strengths of our parish were that it is filled with diversely gifted people, that we are a group of churches who work together, that we are faithful Christians, that we are strong in fellowship, and we are strong on being friendly. Now, certainly, some of the discussion that we had was about whether these are things that are actual in reality, or whether they are aspirations for ourselves as a parish at this time. And I was saying last night that actually it doesn't matter, because whether they are what we experience now or whether what they are what we hope for is good, because we're talking about being mixed together and something being baked together. We're looking to the future. So even if these are aspirations that we hold, it's good that we've been able to identify them and vocalize them. What we did notice, though, was that these are quite thinly described phrases. If you take out the middle one, faithful Christians, then those other 4 could apply to many other groups that meet together who are not church-based groups. And so we wanted to dig a little bit deeper with these descriptions of these strengths and work out what it is that means that they are particularly appropriate for us as a church. We asked ourselves, why are these things strengths that we want to see within our parish? And as we worked together, so we found ways of describing these things, and we came up with these. That the diversely gifted people, we're acknowledging that God is the giver of those gifts. That when we work together, we're seeking to build his kingdom. That faithful Christians simply means that we are focused on Jesus. Our faith is in him. With our fellowship, if we find that to be a strength when we are looking inwards and caring for those around us. And we're looking for being friendly being a strength when we are looking outwards, seeking to serve our community with the good news of Jesus. The particular focus for last night was that also we wanted to do some work on the values that lie beneath these strengths. That list of strengths could lead us just simply to come up with a long list of jobs that we wanted to do as a parish. But I wanted us to see, well, what are the values that lie beneath those strengths that will bind us together as a parish? What is it that underpins, that motivates and inspires those strengths? And thinking of it in those ways, we thought about, therefore, the past, the present, and the future of those strengths. What underpins, what motivates, what inspires us in these strengths. And so we did a lot more discussing and working on these things together. And we came up with this set of values related to these strengths. That the gifts that we see amongst us are inspired by love, and that's what will make them strengths on into the future. That working together is about humility and love. That being faithful Christians is about patience, endurance. That our fellowship is based upon love, empathy, and forgiveness. And our strength in being friendly is underpinned by an attitude of love, service, and grace. Over this coming week, we've got some work to do in terms of praying and seeing where the links are between all of those. We can see that love is a strong link, obviously. But there's a very definite sense that underlying all of these strengths and all of these values was a definite desire to reflect Christ-like qualities that are within us for others to see and for others to be drawn to God through it. So that's where we got to last night on our journey of thinking together what it is that God is mixing us together in this mixing bowl and what he will make with us. And I pointed out that for the next couple of weeks, we've got some other little bits of work that we can do together. And one of them for next week is that we're going to have a think about what strapline might best describe our life together as a parish. Currently, the strapline is we are 5 churches in one parish with one Lord. And I wonder if, as we go through this exercise in Lent, we might decide that there is a different strapline that we want to use to describe our life together, this moment as a parish. So that's a quick summary of our meeting last night. That brings you up to date with the sort of things that we've been thinking about and gives you something to pray about over this next week as we prepare to meet together on Wednesday of next week for the 4th session in our Lent meetings. And we're praying that God will lead us and guide us into being the parish that he wants us to be, that is most useful for him. Look forward to seeing you next week.